Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd. College football starts this weekend. We've got a bunch of games coming up this Saturday. I've already given 4 official picks publicly, and right now we are going to talk with our favorite returning guest, analyzing college football, Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, who's going to give us his thoughts on Urban Meyer right now, of course, from Ohio State, on some ATS tendencies that we might expect from Ohio State this year with Urban Meyer as coach. Of course, Ohio State, a very interesting team. We remember last year, Ohio State absolutely dominated all of their early games. They covered easily as a huge favorite for about their first 4 or 5 games, and then after that started to lose ATS. 2 years ago, of course, it was kind of the opposite for Ohio State. They lost most of their early games ATS. So it'll be interesting to see what Steve can tell us about what we should expect from Ohio State and Urban Meyer in the opening weeks of this coming season. Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. Thanks for being back with us.
Thank you for having me back, Peter.
All right, so we already have an opening line for Ohio State. They're about minus 20.5 against Indiana. Last year, of course, we saw Ohio State covering game in and game out, even as a big favorite, just getting massive 70-10 type wins. Are we going to see that again this year? What do you think?
Well, Peter, this video is sort of an extension of the book that I wrote last year, and it was called The Betting Black Book. I wrote it before the 2016 season. I know you know this, Peter, because, of course, you wrote the foreword to it. And in part because of your excellent contribution, it became, this is a brag alert, became a #1 bestseller on Amazon in 3 different categories, including football and sports gambling. So this is an extension of that, where we're really focusing on the head coaches and how they've performed against the spread and in what spots. So the Betting Black Book was a betting history of, at the time, all 128 active FBS head football coaches, and it looked back at the past 10 years of college football betting data and synthesized it for people. So this is really neat because we can go back now and look at some of the videos I did as an extension from last year and then see how that Betting Black Book would have been predictive of things that happened over the past season. So talking about Urban Meyer as head coach, he's been at Ohio State, of course, since 2012. His against the spread overall record is 35-31-1, which turns out to be 53.03% against the spread. This is a good time to remind people that in the standard college football betting world of bet 11 to win 10, 52.38% is the break-even mark. So any statistic that I quote that's higher than 52.38%, that's going to be profitable. Anything lower than that, and you're losing money as a bettor. So let's look for some consistent tendencies, find meaning in these numbers. And I've got 4 for you today, Peter, when it comes to Urban Meyer at Ohio State. 4 interesting tendencies. And actually, I should say, for this video, more than just Ohio State, I look back when he was at another elite program, University of Florida. So we want to see if this is consistent with Urban Meyer at elite programs. And I think you'll be pretty amazed to find that there's some pretty remarkable consistent tendencies here. So 4 of them. Number 1, although it is rare to find Urban Meyer's teams as underdogs, for 11 years between Florida and Ohio State, 11 years of Urban Meyer head coaching, Meyer's teams have been underdogs 12 times. His record as an underdog against the spread is 10-2. 5-0 at Ohio State and 5-2 at Florida. So you can find them there, find Ohio State as an underdog. You know, it doesn't happen often, but if you can find them there, that's a great spot for them. Number 2, like finding an Urban Meyer team that's an underdog, his teams seldom get the betting majority. So they're seldom on the minority. I'm sorry, did I say majority? They are seldom on the minority betting side. In fact, his teams between Florida and Ohio State have been the minority betting side just 24.48% of the time in all their games. But overall, so that's almost a quarter of the time, 1 out of every 4 games. Overall, Meyer's record when the majority of the public is betting against him, he is 65.71% against the spread. And it's almost divided perfectly evenly between Ohio State and Florida. So again, consistent tendency. And let me give you an example. An example from last year, 2016. Ohio State faced Nebraska. That game closed with Ohio State as a 17.5-point home favorite. Ohio, huge favorite against Nebraska. Ohio State got just 30%, around 30% of the public betting, yet the Buckeyes beat the Huskers, if you recall, 62-3. So they covered the spread, Peter, by 42.5 points. Covered the spread. So most importantly, for consistent tendencies, Meyer's winning percentage in this category, again, while at Ohio State and Florida, is almost exactly the same. So that is consistent. Point number three. In the betting black book, one of the categories I found noteworthy was the total preparation category. And in that category, I included any game for which a coach and his team had at least 10 days to prepare. So that would be the first game of the season, that would be bye weeks, and that would be bowl games. Urban Meyer is 28-11 in those games against the spread. That's 71.79% between Ohio State and Florida. So tremendously profitable. Point number four, the fourth and final point. In Ohio State games, when there's been ridiculous majority, at least 85% of the betting on the over. So we're talking totals here. This is Peter Loshak's real specialty here.
Yes.
At least 85% of the betting public has been on the over. The under has been correct 87.5%. So 7 out of 8 times. And you might say, oh, you're just betting against the public there. That probably happens a lot, right? Not so. So Peter, when I looked at that same, I was looking at that same metric over the past 10 seasons in college football betting. When at least 85% of the public betting has been on the over, last 10 years, all college football games, only 47.76% of the time would you be correct to go against that. So that would have been an unprofitable strategy, but not for Urban Meyer's Ohio State team. So that's really something unique there. So to summarize these 4 points, historically, what we have seen, bet on Urban Meyer's teams when they're underdogs, bet on his teams when his side is getting the betting minority, and bet on Urban Meyer's teams in that total preparation category for that's first game of the season after bye weeks and bowl games. And for totals, when a crazy majority, at least 85% of the public betting is on the over in Ohio State games, bet the under.
All right, interesting stuff, Steve. As always, for people who are just finding out about who you are for the first time with this video, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at collegefootballwinning.com, Steve.
Well, at collegefootballwinning.com, the company was founded on the idea of solely focusing on college football betting and making those college football betting recommendations using sets of algorithms. From the start, we've always offered a 100% money-back guarantee if our clients opted for that membership and they weren't profitable over the course of an entire season with us. So we call our algorithmic betting recommendations our formula. The lifetime of the formula with collegefootballwinning.com is 60.16% against the spread. Last season, the 2016-2017 season, it was 62.26% against the spread. So in part because of the success of the formula, Peter, we have limited our membership. So right now, unfortunately, we are closed to new members. However, if you want to get on our waiting list, that's the best way to join us. Go to collegefootballwinning.com.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.